Hello and welcome to 20 Minutes on DawnNews English. I'm Nadia Naqi with you. We have with us Shabbar Zaidi, who's also the former FBR chairman, understands the economy very well, is a chartered accountant by profession. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Shabbar. We would like to ask you a very key question because at present, I think the current discussion revolves around, was Miftah Ismail's economics better for the country, or is it Dar economics that is going to function best?
Thank you very much. You have given me opportunity to talk on this subject. Nadia, let us see the ground realities. There are two aspects to run the finance ministry. One is the economic side of it, and to look at the medium and long-term economic perspective, and to things and to make decisions which are based on long and medium-term economic policy. In this respect, an economist as a finance minister is always better than a chartered accountant, which I am also a chartered accountant. But in Pakistan,
Right.
we are generally in always a severe cash crisis. So in the cash crisis, there is a need for not for a medium and long-term economic policies, but you need immediate cash solutions and management of administration of the cash in a much better way, for which the accountants are better than the economists. So in short, what I'm saying that in principle, I would say that Miftah Ismail would have been a better finance minister than a chartered accountant. But the kind of the situation Pakistan always remains, and we have to arrange for the financial affairs on a day-to-day basis. In that respect, Dar Saab can perform better because we can easily see that the change in the increase in the rupee dollar parity was, some of the factor was genuine, but a lot of factor was because of the speculation which was done by exchange companies, which was done by the bankers, which was done by the one trade and things like that, where I feel the administration side of the Ministry of Finance and the State Bank of Pakistan was weak, and that has been corrected partly by Mr. Dar, and in that respect, Mr. Dar's position is better. But I still say, being a chartered accountant, I would say that any country needs a good economist to be a finance minister.
Okay. Now you've explained this very well. You've spoken about the speculations of the exchange companies, the bankers, the Afghan trade, and all. But there is no simple, as long as profession matters, of course, to understand, the economics best. But politics play a lot of, role, I would say, to manage the economy of a country. And in this scenario between Miftah Ismail and Ishaq Dar Saab, it makes me feel, and there has been a discussion, that the division in the House of Sharifs probably caused it very difficult for Miftah Ismail to operate. Would you agree with that?
Yes, Miftah Ismail experience in running as a close associate of Sharif is very short. Miftah Ismail was I would say a nominee, or you can say a selection of Mr. Shahid Khan Abbasi, because when Shahid Khan Abbasi was a finance minister, Miftah was a finance minister. So what I can say that in very simple terms, Miftah is not an insider in the Sharif family.
Okay. So, Shabbar Zaidi,
let's be very clear, because you in the Pakistan, unfortunately, very unfortunately, you are running a politics in a dynastic manner. Very frankly, we have to admit it. So when you are running the politics in a dynastic manner, so actually Mr. Dar is a family man. He's an insider of Sharif family. So he will be. And secondly, what I believe, that even Mr. Miftah was not very comfortable position with Mr. Shabaz Sharif, and I also know for a fact that the relationship between Miftah and Aisha Waqt Pasha was not as conducive as should have been. So the Miftah was actually, again I reiterate, he was an outsider in the coterie of the pml-n politics, and
So he faced a lot of opposition. It was not a conducive environment, as you put it. But Shabbar Zaidi sir, tell me one thing. There's a lot of discussion around the exchange. The speculation about the exchange companies, the banking, sector as well as the trade that you spoke earlier, they say that this was being controlled just to make Miftah's life difficult and for entry of Isaf Dar Saab. And as soon as he leaves from the United Kingdom, we see the rupee appreciating. Even today, the rupee is appreciating, and Isaf Dar Saab wants to bring it down under 200, versus the dollar. And this is something that you had said earlier, that the real value, in your opinion, should be 180 rupees in exchange to $1.
Let me explain to you. When Dar Saab says that he will like to bring the dollar to a certain figure, I would not agree him on the economic point of view. Yes, the mismanagement which has been done or the speculative side of it, you can always bring the dollar to that value. But I don't think the Dar Saab has got now the space to bring the dollar value by the intervention he had done in the past. By the market intervention he used to do through State Bank of Pakistan, because I don't know for a fact, but there is an allegation. I am again reiterating the allegation that in the last 5 years of pml-n government, he has put in $60 billion to keep the dollar at 101. This is an allegation by no person less than Shaukat Tareen, that Dar Saab has placed $60 billion in the market to keep the dollar at 101 rupees. So this is an allegation against him. I am not saying that it's a right allegation or a wrong allegation, but that kind of mechanics is now not available for him, because we don't have a dollar. We have only $10 million, less than $10 million. But where the Dar Saab can play a positive role is that he can manage the exchange companies in a better way, because our exchange companies are basically conduit in exchange transmission, and whether people like or not, they are also the conduit in hawala. So if you can persuade exchange companies to route it through the State Bank of Pakistan, not through hawala, then the dollar availability, the market increases.
Okay, so you mean so do you say that Shabbar Zaidi Saab, that Isaf Dar Saab enjoys a better relation with the exchange companies in Pakistan?
No, Nadia, I would put it very crudely that we accountants know how to deal with the exchange companies, not the economists.
And so he did it.
It's an accounting gimmick. This is not an economist issue. This is not a subject of economics. It is a subject of how the hawala trade comes in, how hawala goes on, who does hawala, what does hawala does. So this is our field. Our field means myself, with Dar Saab and accountants. We know what is going on in the market, actually, in the market. So, but an economist, a theoretical economist, they are not in this business. They are basically academicians. So Pakistan, you have to you have to call the exchange companies and ask them that I will issue so-called notice, I will do this and that. You have to bring so much money in Pakistan tomorrow, and they have a lever to bring certain money to Pakistan. So that is a, I would say, $3 to $8 billion swing which can happen in Pakistan. $3 to $5 billion swing can happen in Pakistan by hawala trades. So if you can manage that 3 to 5 billion rupees, then it can make a lot of difference in the hawala business. So let me further explain to you, and Pakistanis will understand properly. Pakistanis earn like $60 billion per annum who are outside Pakistan. $60 billion.
Right.
They send $30 billion to Pakistan officially. Okay. So remaining 30, they transfer to West, or they spend, or they invest outside Pakistan. But out of that, a sum of say 10% of that money, say 3%, is actually used for hawala.
Oh my God!
30 billion, 10% of 30 billion is 3 billion rupees. So 3 billion you can bring if the Pakistanis can start sending say 5 billion more, then Pakistan will be very better off. So in Pakistan, if you understand the exchange mechanism and you understand the exchange psyche, then you have to understand the hawala system also. So this is,
and so you can do that quick fix of the cash flow that we have a dearth about.
Yes,
right?
You have to because there's an open market rate and there's a State Bank of Pakistan rate. The open market rate depends on the availability of dollar with the exchange companies. and exchange companies bring in the dollar for the remittances. So how much they bring in through Hawala and how much they bring in through that is
The
how
banking
their
sector.
float is moved around. So
Okay.
this is a game of managing Hawala. But let me, Nadia, a very interesting thing, just to quote it. When I was the chairman of FBR, one day the exchange company met the prime minister. So and prime minister
You mean
asked,
Imran Khan?
yes, Imran Khan. The prime minister asked, "What is your business?" So the exchange company said, "We are exchange companies." So one of the persons sitting here, "No, sir, they are lying. They are doing Hawala." So Imran Khan asked me, "What is Hawala?" So I explained, this is Hawala. So what I am saying, that the economists, the politicians, they actually don't know the importance of Hawala in Pakistan. Again, I reiterating, if there is a float of $30 billion per annum, $30 billion Pakistanis are
Right.
earning, which is not remitted to Pakistan. So if
Right.
that float is 30 billion and you can manage it well, you can manage it well, either through a measure which Isaac says, or you can make the environment conducive for Pakistan. Then this money can come back to Pakistan. This is the game of the Hawala and Hudi.
Okay. Now, because we have little time, and I want you to comment very briefly. What about the dirty linen being washed in public? A few days earlier, we saw Miftah Ismail Saab commenting about the PDL not being raised as commitment to IMF. And we know we are in strict conditionalities of IMF. The petrol prices have been brought down. Do you really think that IMF is going to let us sustain with this? Or, as agreed upon, we have to slowly and gradually build up upon the PDL?
Nadia, let me say one thing. Whatever we have discussed earlier, the the space, even including Hawala and such adjustment, the space with Mr. Dar is not very big. It's very small space, and I believe that space will be finished in 1 month or maybe less than 1 month, and then the dollar will come to the basis where it is there. The important point is that uh, the IMF position, unfortunately, I am saying unfortunately, is not as independent as we see. So IMF position is generally related to the overall relationship of Pakistan with the western side of the world.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So
All
so
right.
so I believe that we can have a slightly better atmosphere in the West for us. So there may be slightly relaxed attitude by the IMF as far as the conditionality is concerned. I can shortly say this.
Also because of the floods. Also because of the
No,
floods.
because of the floods, and because the chief of army staff has gone to US. He had a discussion on the viability of Pakistan, on the sustenance of Pakistan. He has talked about it, and certain important matters must have been discussed there. So those matters have a very direct relationship how the IMF reacts in the future days in Pakistan, and that is the underlying reason of the confidence which the Mr. Dar is talking at the moment.
Sir, have you worked with Muzammil Aslam, or by that time you had left, the previous government's position of chairman FBR?
No, when I was chairman, Muzammil was not there, but I know Muzammil very well. But Nadia, let
He
me
has been, on social media, he came up with yet another probably way of collecting money by saying that, women in Pakistan all own gold and at least everyone has 10 grams. So, if this is like sold, so we can probably pay our debts because there's going to be a lot of gold then worth, I don't know, 60 billion or something he had said. Do you really believe that, these kind of suggestions are workable? I mean, in a country which is actually having challenges to this depleting economy.
Let me be very candid on this. We know for a fact, because we are sitting in Karachi and we are living in the real life market. what Muzambil is saying, that there is a lot of gold and the dollar, in physical dollar, which is available in Pakistan, which can be utilized, but this is practically a no go, no. It's not a
Solution.
practical idea at all.
Okay.
This cannot happen, and this will not happen because
Okay.
because it will take a long time.
Hmm.
I would say it will almost be impossible that the Pakistanis can be given the kind of the trust that you can get the rupee against your gold and dollars, and the government will be so strong that you can be repaid. So yes, the availability is there. I know, I can agree with you. What he's saying is right, that there is so much gold
But
and
this
the
is not
dollar.
a practical solution. So,
So
Mr. Zedi, I would.
totally 100% impractical, 110%
Okay.
impractical, because it can happen. It cannot happen in a country of 220 million people.
All right. So I would like to ask Mr. Zaidi, how about the tax revenue collection? Do you think this is directly related to the government, in power? Like, the previous government says nobody believes in the incumbent government, that is of Shabbar Zaidi, and therefore the revenue collection may not meet the targets. Whereas he believes that, while he was there, he had collected record tax collections. Do you believe that this is the tax
let me
collection is actually directly proportional
let,
to
let, let, let,
politics?
let me answer it very frankly. The unfortunate part is that the current account in dollar in Pakistan always act totally diagonally as far as the tax collection is concerned. Whenever the rupee dollar parity is against rupee, then you will always have a better tax collection, because your tax collection is actually on transaction and imports. So when you collect 54% of your taxes on the basis of the import on a dollar, and the rupee dollar parity improves, depreciates, then your tax collection actually increases. So,
Okay.
so in Pakistan, the collection increase you are seeing today, the last quarter, this is 95%. It is on account of the exceptional increase in the rupee parity of dollar, because you are collecting 54% of taxes in dollar terms. So
All right.
let me be very candid that in Pakistan for the last many years, including my term, there has never been substantial increase in the real tax collection. Real tax collection, when I say real tax collection, means that you collect taxes for the people who are not paying earlier. When I say real tax collection, I means that you are collecting for the people who are not paying earlier. But
Absolutely.
if you are paying 16% sale tax, and I increase it to 18%, and I say I have collected more tax, then I am saying a wrong thing basically. You know, this is
Okay. I understand what you're saying,
so,
and
uh,
I'm sure
so what
our
I
viewers also understand. So the last 2 minutes, I want to know, where do you see the economy now that Finance Minister Mr. Ishaq Dar is handling it by next year? Do you see that we're in the right direction?
No, let me be very candid, and it can be kept as a record, and it will be shown as unless we get a very substantial bailout in another 3 years, for another 3 to 4 years, Pakistan cannot avoid a very catastrophic position as far as the current economy is concerned. We are not heading in the right way.
But we are out of the
Very
default,
candid.
right?
Very
We are
candid.
out of the position of default.
No, let me reiterate what I'm saying. The two fundamental accounts of Pakistan, one is fiscal account, other is current account. Both are now not controllable by Pakistan.
Then who is controlling it?
No, it's not controllable. They have gone
Okay,
out
so
of.
it's not controllable the way they are functioning. That's
No,
what
they
you
are
mean.
no controllable. When I say no, first of all, what I think, at the moment, the way they have been run, now if you continue to run on it, then you are heading towards a default.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. If you look at the IMF projection, look at the IMF report they have released, when they release the loan, take out the page number 35 and read the cash flow of Pakistan. They are saying that Pakistan will be receiving 51 billion FDI in Pakistan.
Okay. Okay.
And
All
in the
right.
last 40 years, the FDI is $16 million. And you are today, there's a Dawn newspaper paper news that TTP is saying that we don't agree with ceasefire. So if you are acting like the social environment is like this, and you are saying that you will have $51 million investment, then technically speaking, you are befooling the Pakistan nation. Pakistan is heading towards default unless we correct two things. Firstly, we create environment for FDI, which we are not doing.
Okay.
Which we are not
Okay.
doing. Secondly, we are not cutting our import bill. So these are all gimmicks, hawala adjust kar le, something like that.
So this is all heading towards a default unless and until the two problems that you have just mentioned, we actually take care of those. Thank you so much, Mr. Shabbar Zaidi, for your time on 20 Minutes for Dawn News English. That's all for now. Allah Hafiz.